Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and we're doing a no run-through review of Darkest Night.
Because it's so
Why
good.
are we doing a no run-through review? Is it boring? Ah! Is it because do I ever do good no run-through reviews?
All the time.
Very rarely. It's actually expansions.
It's like
I
we
do
just rather not play it again.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, it's one of those things that because the channel's growing, I can think of a bunch of other games that I'd rather play and edit and do skits for and interviews for than this one in particular. Now this is the second edition, which is far superior than the first edition quality-wise. The first edition was like very cheap, but they were a new company. Like literally, the game came in a smaller box, but also came with a napkin. To wipe.
Oh?
A sanitary napkin?
Almost, but it was to wipe the pieces off because they had like soot on them from a laser printer.
Oh.
Huh.
Essentially, so it was to like basically wash your fucking hands because it was like gritty.
Don't you love it when companies make you do the work?
It was a cheap. That wasn't because it was just because they were a low budget company at the time.
What company
This
is
one
this?
went on Kickstarter. Victory Point Games.
Victory Point.
So this company went on Kickstarter for their second edition, and it is quality-wise a lot better, and I think cheaper because the first edition had like 4 expansions. Like the quests were an expansion, the events were an expansion, the artifacts and mystery cards, all those were different expansions.
So you mean there was less?
In the base game, yes. This one includes all the stuff in it already.
If you didn't
It was
think-
one payment, yeah.
If you didn't think it was boring first.
So, well, that's the weird thing is like I played this game like a year ago. This was the first game Kat and I played,
I don't even
and whenever we moved up here, and I don't remember it being so blah. Like, so let's go ahead and do what we normally do and talk about things we don't like. Obviously, it's a consensus that it's just boring.
Yeah.
Too much dice!
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's, I wouldn't necessarily, because there's ways to mitigate, well, not really mitigate your role, but at least it's not solely dependent on randomness, depending on your character, I guess.
True.
But yeah, like,
It's so pervasive.
they have, what they do is they have 29 characters, which are all unique, which I really do like about this game. The fact that there's 29, you know your person, you have your own individual deck of 13 cards that are specific to your character, and they all are thematic. I really like that, how everyone feels different. But the problem with that is you never really feel that way. You never feel like you're a bard doing bard things throughout, because all of your actions stay the same. Like, regardless of what you're doing, you're moving to a spot, and you're attacking a blight, or you're searching, and you're drawing a card just to see what randomly you get. Which is a misstep, in my opinion. With
Random.
yeah, like, it's such a letdown, because I remember liking this game, but I guess my tastes have changed where I'm like, I need an involved world. Like, I like the theme of the game, how the Necromancer won, and it's like, oh shit, like, because normally we're trying to stop him from winning. But no, he already won, and the game is difficult, extremely difficult. You feel like your back's up against the wall the entire time, and which is a good thing, because you do. Like, every time he moves, a blight shows up. Like, you're never going to get ahead. There's never going to be a time where all the blights
You just have to find your opening.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
And they tried to add more theme and substance to this game, with, you know, the quests and the mysteries that show up. And the flavor text is very nice, but I think it's like, it's not enough, because at the end of it, you're doing one action, and which is very slow paced for a game like this. So
Right, that's probably my biggest complaint. We
just
do one action.
One action.
Move on.
Yep.
One action.
Yep.
Event. One action.
Yep. Yep, and I would completely agree. Like, even if it was 2 actions. Like, hell, 2 actions and you can't do the same action. Like, Eldritch Horror is like, hey, do 2 actions, but you can't do the same action twice.
It's...
But it's like, because half the time, most of this game, what makes it so difficult is because you can't move and then do something else. Like, oh, there's a blight there that we need to get rid of. Okay, it's going to take 2 full rounds to get rid of it. And you may not even get rid of it, because it's based on a die roll, and all of them are difficult as they should be. But what makes them difficult is the fact that, oh, it's a 5, and I need to roll a 5 or 6 on a d6, so I don't have that. I have a 33% chance.
With a penchant for ones.
Huh?
With a penchant for ones.
Right, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if it's just the dice or just dumb luck that we rolled a bunch of 1s, like, consistently. And so, yeah, that's it's not a bad game. Like, I would call this almost like, and you would know, and you kind of would know with the Arkham Horror, the card game, but would you call this kind of like an Arkham Horror Eldritch Horror Light?
Well...
Like, there's not a lot of theme, but the difficulty's there.
I can
the way you have to...
see why you. Yeah, no, I can see why you would say that.
Mhm.
You got problem popping up.
Yeah.
Right, and
but-
it takes less time. Like, takes way less setup time, way less time to actually play.
Yeah.
And
Less time to actually play? You
than
sure?
Eldritch Horror. Oh, not than Arkham Horror, the card game, but Eldritch Horror and Arkham Horror probably would take about 3 to 4 hours.
Did they take 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah.
Could
It's
be
been a
pretty
while
long,
since we
yeah.
Oh,
played
we
those,
did play
so-
Eldritch Horror. Yeah, it takes about...
I didn't feel like it took at the time.
That's because they're actually
Because
fun.
they're
Yeah.
they're
Oh.
way more involved. Yeah.
Oh, they're fun. Right.
Yeah, time flies. Yeah, I mean, that is necessarily true.
Or it's
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm playing
Yeah.
This or Eldritch, that's totally
Yeah.
one of those.
They
Exactly.
can be shorter if you just fucking lose immediately, but so you are.
But if you're doing well, yeah, the
Yeah,
games
you
are longer. But yeah, this one feels like a droll, even though technically turns are really quick because of the one action.
Yeah,
It's
of
like-
course, yeah.
But it almost doesn't feel that way because you're not doing anything.
I mean, because you do your one turn and you already know what you're going to fucking do. So it's
Exactly.
like, well, I guess I'll move over here.
Yeah.
Like,
Done!
There was one time I got my event and I went to walk away. I was gonna go get something and I went to walk away and you're like, "What are you gonna do for your turn?" And I was like, "Oh."
Oh yeah, I forgot. I guess I get to do something.
Like
I
they're
guess.
so short that I was like, "Oh, that event was my turn." Like.
Right. And that's the problem, is there's no real thought process to, like, there's no really cooperative nature.
I was never playing
It's
in
not
my
like,
head.
oh my god, if you move here and do your ability, then I can do this. No, it's, oh, you move there, that's it. Okay, so you can't do your ability.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess we'll wait for you to do it then. Yeah, that one action really kills it. And I think that's how they made it hard. Because each turn you're getting an event, or you're dealing with blights, and also what's really stupid is the fact a lot of these blights do end of turn stuff. So it's like if you move into a spot, you can't even resolve it before it goes off. You're just like, I guess I'm going there and losing secrecy, or I'm losing willpower, or I'm exhausting an ability. It's it's just really, really stupid. Now, now that we got that out of the way, we can talk about things that we do like. Which the only thing I really like is the plethora of characters that are in the game. The 29 different characters, and they're all different.
The board's pretty.
Well, I will give it one thing. It did, like, make you feel on edge the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But without, like, crushing you.
Oh, right.
Like, well, it kept the blights heavy, and it at the same time, it didn't, like, cripple us.
Yeah.
Like, but we were like, shit's
yeah.
going down, and
Yeah.
we felt that.
There is a good balance to this game because you're gonna feel like all hope is lost, which matches the theme very well. But you can still prevail. Like if everything goes right, you can still, okay, let's all team up. And I finally got the relic. Mysteries. Well, so in the first edition, there was no clues. That wasn't a thing. It was pretty much you had to search specific areas, mainly the ruins, and find a relic.
Oh. Let's just get lucky.
I think so. And it has been a while since I played first edition, but I believe that's what it was. I know the clues were not a thing. And it was like, I actually did like that aspect of the clues versus just, oh, I got it. That's just kind of very lackluster. At least we kind of had to do, like, I had to climb a tower. Oh, that's not the right one. I had to climb a tower, which boosted us all the way up because I braved the whole tower, the crumbling tower. Like, we were able to do a coup and bring him over to us, which helped us a lot, which eventually got me the relic to come in, and we banded up against him. So if you think thematically of everything...
Yeah, they make you do a lot of work, though.
They really do. Yeah.
That was a lot. That was due in part to a lot of our imagination.
And some games do that, like, but like what makes good games like Eldritch Horror and Arkham Horror is they immerse you in the theme really well, but also still have flavor text. But they have stories to them. I think that this could have had, instead of flavor text, because flavor text shouldn't be the theme.
Mm-hmm.
That should just be a little like
Sprinkling,
extra.
Yeah.
Like the game should make you feel like you're involved.
Yeah, it's the icing.
But this one doesn't do it, and that's not to say that the writing's bad or anything. But so what already happens is like you said, the blights are already a thing. The fact that he goes every turn and he adds a blight every movement, and he hunts us down and he fights us. Luckily, it's not like if he fights us, we just die.
Right.
Like it's easy to gain willpower back. Secrecy is most likely going to be your crutch.
But at the end of the game, once you get that relic, you want it to be low. You're like
exactly. You want to like
yeah.
draw him to you, which he will. And I've won plenty of times doing it that way. I think I've won one time where getting 3 relics and going to the monastery was a thing, and that's very difficult with the clues. You would need 30 to wipe it all, and then we just need to get to the monastery and get it. I don't foresee that happening.
Because we got to 13 this whole game.
But yeah, that was our max. You're right. 14. I think I spent at 11. But what's difficult is I think what our problem was is I guess there was some strategy, because all we were doing was fighting blights, and if you do that, you're not going to get ahead because he's always going to keep spawning ones. What you do is you pick and choose. Like it keeps you on edge without just completely destroying you, and it's like, okay, that one kind of sucks. Like the shroud, if it was in the village, it's like, oh shit, we can't get rid of any of those. Let's get rid of that one first, or like the red ones, which really hinder you. Those are your focus points, but it makes you pull away from doing other things. So once I was like, oh yeah, we really need to search a lot more, that's when we started doing better. Because if you just keep fighting blights, the darkness is just going to keep going up, the events will cripple you, and you're not going to get anywhere. But that's pretty much the max of it. Not really a whole lot. Like the artifacts didn't really come up a lot. The Blade of Light happened to be the perfect one to get to actually fight him, even though it didn't help at the end because there were no blights to add to it, but still very beneficial if I had it earlier on.
Yeah.
So I like that they added items, even though they barely come up. The quests are interesting. They're just kind of another thing to do, though, in my opinion. Like, they're never really exciting. It's just kind of like, oh, I guess I'll go do that. Because you never really feel like you worked for it.
Right.
You just go there and you're like, oh, I guess I'll tap these and, oh, I got it. Or, oh, I got a 6, yay! And that's
or
pretty
more
much
often
it.
than not.
Oh, that was my one action. Like, I think this game would be a lot more interesting if they had at least, you can do 2 actions on your turn. And I almost want to see if, like, house ruling that makes it, but I think it would make it too easy.
It would.
There's no way to do it, and I don't think there's... Oh, wait, but there is at the end.
Oh, wait, there's more.
That's other rules. Oh, adjusting difficulty. You can make it harder.
Oh, good.
There's really no way to... like to increase like gameplay wise. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. The items aren't really that exciting. Really what carries this game is just the fact that I'm a channeler and I feel like I actually have channeler abilities. You had scholarly abilities. Josh was the paragon who had no abilities apparently. Well, all of his abilities seem to be all actions. I think they all are actions. Almost.
Yeah.
And whether or not I think they would have been good had they come out at the right time, because a lot of it was done where we were trying to get him killed. So yeah, the ability to be like, hey, he's not going to detect any of us. It would have been brilliant earlier in the game, but it was like, crap, no, we want him to. And then you were the bard, which did AOE quests.
Mostly I just buff the party.
Okay.
And that is very specific. Everyone has to be together, and I'm buffing them.
Yep. Or at least you just follow one person around and kind of aid them doing their thing. So everyone does have their role, you just never really feel it. I can't really think of anything else. Scale of 1 to 10. Let's start with you, Devin. You kind of judge games more on a fairer scale than I do. I try to do both.
Mine comes from the heart.
I'm gonna give it.
Indeed.
Give it a 6.
That's a lot higher than I was thinking.
6.2.
No.
I mean that's a fair, like, it doesn't always have to be a 0.5 or a whole number. You can do 6.
It's
whole or
right.
half.
Yeah, it's a 6, 6.5. right in there. I mean, it's...
Would you play this again?
No.
You wouldn't?
I would not.
See, that's such a weird score. But, I mean, that's your own score, and that's fine.
Well,
it
okay,
works,
5
it
being
works, though.
perfectly... Like, okay.
5 being average. Like,
Perfectly
on my
Is it
personal
average?
scale, 10 is perfect,
Mhm.
in your opinion, because no game, you can always nitpick something. 10 is, I'll play this, like,
Well, just...
if I was...
I'm IGN, you know?
Oh.
And, you know, generally, you
You're
know,
Game
everything's
Informer.
9 and 10.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's a 6, you might as well throw it in the fucking trash.
So I kind of go off of, what I loosely base my score off of is the BGG, the Board Game Geek rating, which is like 5 is average, 6 is like, I'll play if asked, 10 is, you know, 10 is like, if I was to bring this out, you'd play it every single time. Like, I don't know, like, Mansions of Madness, you'd probably rate like 9 or 10. Every time we would play. BattleCon, we'd probably play almost every single time. So, when it comes to me, so you gave it a 6.5 or a 6.
That's flat 6.
So I would give it a 5, because I think it's just plainly average. It doesn't do anything in the grand scope of things. Do I think it's pretty? Do I love the artwork? It's like I just wish these characters were involved more, and they're not. So the game is hard, yeah, and it's fair, but at the same time, if someone was like, hey, you want to play Darkest Night? I would definitely have to be in the mood. Like, I'd be like, alright, it'll take an hour. Probably it should take an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Alright, well, I'll play it.
Right.
But I'm not going to be like, what? Yes, let's play Darkest Night again. Like,
Thank God you asked.
what, you guys didn't ask, but I know you wanted to. So, it's a 5 out of 10 for me, because 1 is like complete shit. You can't even play it. Like, it's that bad. I've given one game a 1. In all reality, it should have been a 2. Because you could play. It was not Talisman, it was Assault of the Giants. In all reality, it should have been a 2 because you could technically play the game. It was just such a shitty game for 2017 that I was like, no! There is no pass for this anymore. So I just gave it a 1. So, 5 for me.
I'm going to give it a 4. Mainly just because you were talking about the scale, and if you brought it out, I'd be like,
no thanks.
Oh boy!
You know what's funny though? I brought this out when I first got it, and we played it with Haley and Paul,
Jesus.
and I think at the time I was the only one that was enjoying it, and they were not feeling it either. I think this game has flopped every time. I don't even think you liked it whenever we would play with just you and I.
I'm gonna tell you, I probably didn't, because I don't even, I barely remember it.
Yeah, it's not a good 2-player game either, because it's scaled for 4. So you have to control 2 each. But they do have a 5th player, which someone could play the Necromancer.
That's probably boring as shit as well.
Probably is.
One action. Like, oh, you get to move, and now you roll and attack them.
Well, because his shit's probably preset, just
probably,
yeah. But yeah,
so,
I'll give it a 4, because definitely if you asked me to play, I'd be like, babe, can you please find something else?
Can you pick something else? Yeah.
I will if you need
I'm
me to.
really glad I didn't pay the $60, $70 for the miniatures. You want to know how much this game costs though? If you had to guess.
Oh, let's guess.
How much this cost?
Yeah.
40.
You think 40?
You just said you didn't pay 50 or 60. Oh, for the miniatures, separate?
There was actually a miniatures expansion, which actually instead of the standees, there's miniatures for each character. That's $60.
Okay.
Which I like standees.
Is it $80?
It's about 100.
What the fuck?
No, I would not pay $100.
No, I wouldn't either. But you gotta remember, this is adding 4 expansions to it as well, and the base game. So it's a justifiable, if you're looking at all the expansions and everything, it's a justifiable 100. I got it for 90 because I bought it online. But yeah, looking back, you wouldn't go ahead and spend $100, even though you're getting every expansion in it. Which I do like. You don't have to get expansions afterwards. You just buy this, but you're pretty much paying. It is cheaper than the base game plus the 4 expansions.
But when it's not pitched that way, like the base game, if they had pitched it in a way that you were like, here's your extra content that you give
I did so much research.
Really?
I was going through their Kickstarter page. I'm like, does this have all the expansions? Why is it $100?
Yeah, they should have. Yeah, they should have made it a little more clear that what you're getting, because then it just makes it sound better.
Right. I almost didn't get the 2nd edition because I was like, why? I have 1st edition. Am I glad I got it?
Probably not.
I am, because the overall quality, like I said, is way better. If you guys saw the 1st edition, it's like, did you make this? Is this your print and play?
I'm trying to remember so hard.
Well, there weren't these standees. Remember, they were little square standees. And the board was tiny. It was a 3-piece board. It was not good.
I'm gonna Google it.
You probably Google it.
Like, I can't tell if I'm, like, falsifying memories at this point.
But they come with this compendium, which is neat. It shows kind of like each character and how they should be played. So that might have been beneficial to be like, well, cause whenever you're picking your 5 starting cards, you're like, well, how does this play? What are the rest of his cards? That might, but even then, they're not involved enough.
I mean, if you read your synopsis, I was researching.
Yeah, because all your stuff was putting it on locations.
Yeah. Searching and being helpful.
Yeah, but you can't, because you can't do enough. Like, you can't do your actions and place them there, because you can only move. And then it's like, shit, we need you to fight Blight, or we need you to search. It's like, okay, I guess I'm not getting shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're circling around. 6.5, 5, 4 for her. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. But other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this, and if you like this video, then click the subscribe button below to enjoy any video that I put out. And right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. Click that so you get notified of whenever I actually upload these videos. If you want to support the channel, you can definitely visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.